What is going on, everyone? We are back. First night of the conference finals is in the books, and the Boston Celtics narrowly escaped with a win tonight, unfortunately. It was a fantastic game, but man, Indy should have had this game, and they just blew it. You can talk about the refs all you want, with all the free throws the Celtics got and the Pacers didn't, but man, the Pacers should have won this game and they blew it. Shout out to Jaylen Brown, though, for hitting a clutch shot. That shot was probably the clutchest I've ever seen out of Jaylen Brown. By the way, if you're wondering who the guy behind me is, it's Drew Holiday. He used to play, that was his first team, the Sixers. I'm a big Celtics hater, so I'm going to refuse to put some Celtics green behind me tonight. Call me butthurt, call me whatever if you're watching this, but man, I just can't stand the Celtics. So we'll have Drew Holiday in a Sixers uniform. So yeah, let's get right into it. I mean, yeah, I said it. I think Indiana should have so escaped this game with a win. But shout out to Boston for capitalizing on their mistakes. Let's get right into it. I mean, Siakam, he started off this game ice cold. He was like 5 for 15 or 6 for 15 at half. It was not a good first half for Siakam, and he really turned it around in the second half, and he was cooking in the second half. He was a big reason. There was a point where the Celtics went up by like 9 or 10, and then the Pacers came back and they took the lead. I mean, Siakam was a big reason that this game was even close in the first place. Aaron Nesmith, I know he had a lot of turnovers and he like fouled out this game. When he was in, he really did a good job on Jason Tatum. I'm gonna say, I mean, he is going to be the number one defender on Jason Tatum this series, and I think he's got to be because respectfully, guys like Nemhard and Shepard couldn't guard him. Nesmith was the only one who was big and physical enough to really contain Tatum. But yeah, so shout out Aaron Nesmith. I know he had turnovers and he fouled out, but like he really tried, and I thought he did a very good job guarding Tatum. Miles Turner, he was big in this game, hit some massive threes. I mean, shooting 3 for 4 from three, another fantastic outing from three for Miles Turner. So yeah, Miles Turner was in his bag tonight. Um, had 2 blocks. You'd like to see more blocks. You like could have gotten more blocks from Miles Turner, but like, I mean, he led the team. He led the game in blocks outside of Al Horford. So yeah, Miles Turner was in his bag, not the reason you lost this game. Andrew Nemhard, I mean, he was just Andrew Nemhard in this game. Like, yeah, he was Andrew Nemhard. He hit some big shots in the fourth. I take that back. When it looked like the Pacers were, it was going in the direction the Pacers were gonna win. Andrew Nemhard hit some big shots in the fourth, busting out the mid-range game. That was impressive from Andrew Nemhard. So like, yeah, give credit to Andrew Nemhard. And man, Tyrese Halliburton, like I don't know what to say about this guy. I mean, there were moments that were absolutely ridiculous from Tyrese Halliburton, like the three right before the fourth quarter, the deep ass three at the start of OT. Like, I mean, there were times where this guy was just so in his bag, but then there were times you just wanted to rip your hair out watching him. Like the turnovers late, man, that I would be lying if I said that didn't cost them the game. Like if if he keeps the ball, like he turned over the ball twice in the last like minute, and like that gave the Celtics pretty much the ability to force overtime and get the win. Give credit to the Celtics for forcing those opportunities and taking advantage of them. But like it's like Tyrese Halliburton costed you the game, but at the same time, like you wouldn't be in the game if it weren't for Tyrese Halliburton. Like I know Siakam was good, but Halliburton was the main dude. Like so it's a very puzzling game, I would say, for Tyrese Halliburton. Like he did a lot of great things in this game, especially since it's his first game ever in the conference finals and it's his first ever playoff run. But like he did some stuff that really cost the Pacers the game. So like I'd say like a mixed performance from Tyrese Halliburton in this game. Obi Toppin was solid. 15 off the bench, like in 22 minutes. You can't complain about that. Obi Toppin was in his bag tonight. He was aggressive. He was hustling. Yeah, he was good. I will say one play. This is I don't think Toppin was in this play, but there was one play. It was like the loose ball play where like Siakam like was like out of control, but he somehow maintains like possession of the ball and gets it to someone for like a wide open layup. I think it might have been Nemhard who got that layup, but it was like there was one play in the fourth where just it was like crazy play. People were bodies were hitting the floor. Siakam like out of control, but he somehow gets the ball, let's say to Nemhard, and they get the basket. That was like the play of the game for the Pacers, I would definitely say. Either that or the crazy three by Halliburton at the end of the third. That was insane as well. Jalen Smith got a minute in this game, but it was only 1 minute. Like they had a quick leash on him. Same thing with Isaiah Jackson. I know he was in this game. He had a nice block on, I believe it was Tatum, because the shot clock was going down. Tatum was going to throw one up, and Isaiah Jackson just got all ball on him, man. So like the 4 minutes he was in, he was solid. Like I mean, he didn't really rebound or anything, but that block was damn nice. TJ McConnell continued to be a dog in this game. You would have honestly liked to see more from TJ McConnell, but actually, I don't even know. I mean, he's a bench guy. Like 13 points is what you want from TJ McConnell. Like, let's see. Let's see. In the playoffs, he is averaging 10.8. Yeah, he got above his average. So it's like TJ McConnell was good in this game, but it didn't really feel like he was like that dude in this game. I felt like Aaron Nesmith outdogged him in this game, to be honest. Ben Shepherd, you needed more efficiency from Ben Shepherd in this game. He had the one really good putback offensive rebound, which was good, but you needed him to hit some threes, man. Like, that's the thing with Ben Shepherd. Like, he's a very solid defender, but like when he's not hitting his threes, it's like it's hard to play the guy because it's like think of like if you're a Sixers fan watching this, think of like Matisse Thybulle, I guess you can say. I'd say his defense isn't at the level of Matisse Thybulle, but like when he's not making his threes, it's like very puzzling. But like Ben Shepherd's only a rookie, he's a second round pick. So I mean he's got time to develop. It's like Ben Shepherd will be in his bag down the line. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say the Pacers played bad, but like they played well. Like they should have won this game. And it's like they looked a lot better than people thought they were gonna look. But again, I don't know if I've said this yet, but I believe that there are like no moral victories in the playoffs. It's like you either win or you lose. Like it doesn't matter how hard or how well you play. Like you go down, you're down 0-1. It's like it does. There are no moral victories in the postseason, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, the Pacers played well, but like they're down 0-1, so it's like they got to respond. Moving on to the Celtics. I swear, this is like the first close game the Celtics have been in the entire postseason. And that's good because I mean, especially like for Celtics haters like myself, um, like that is gonna the Pacers are a team that's going to tire them out in this series because Indiana plays damn fast, and like the more fast they play, like the more tired these Celtics are gonna get. Like Al Horford was fantastic in this game. You might see limited production from him later in the series because of how fast they play. Yeah, let's get into the Celtics. Jason Tatum, um, he was good this game. I thought, like, you look at the stats, you'd be like, oh, he was fantastic. I honestly thought there were times there he wasn't that great. Like, end of the fourth quarter, if it weren't for Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum would have gotten massacred in this game. So you could argue, I guess, in a way that Jaylen Brown kind of bailed Tatum because I mean, he had he had some missed layups like in the fourth when they could have brought the lead down to like one. Took an awful fadeaway jumper that was just like unnecessary and too quick. He could have passed it out for someone like in the corner and shot a three or something like that. So yeah, I mean Tatum was good in overtime. Don't get me wrong. He was good in overtime. He had a big and one. He had a massive three. Like I mean, Tatum had his good moments in this game too. But there were a bunch of plays where it was like, come on, Tatum, what are you doing? But yeah, good game from Tatum overall. I just feel like there were some moments where he could have really taken over and closed this game out in the fourth, but he didn't. And it didn't matter because the Celtics got the win. As there are no moral victories in the playoffs, there's no moral defeats in the playoffs. The Celtics are up 1-0. They should be happy about that. Al Horford, I honestly thought he was better than the stats show. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't realize he was like 5 for 15 and 3 for 12. Like the dude just out here making play. He's hustling. I mean, that's what Al Horford does. He's a glue guy. If you're watching this, you've watched Hero Ball. It's like the basketball anime thing on like Bleacher Report or House of Highlights. I forget which one, but like Al Horford's like the glue guy of the Celtics, and he was absolutely that tonight. Like he had 3 blocks. Yeah, Al Horford was good in terms of energy and effort for the Celtics tonight, and he got 15 points, which is good for Al Horford standards. So yeah, solid game from Al Horford. You know who had a really good game? Drew fucking Holiday, man. Like this guy, 28, I think that's as high in the postseason. I'm gonna be honest. Like, yeah, let's look this up real quick. Let's go on a stat moose. Shout out stat moose. Drew Holiday, post season stats by game. I'm pretty sure 28 is his high in the postseason. Yeah, let's look at this. Started against Miami. He had 24-point game against Miami. Um, yeah, 28. This was like by far his best game in the postseason. He shot 10 for 16, 4 for 8 from three. This is efficiency you love to see out of Drew Holiday if you're the Celtics, man. Like you want this guy cooking like this. Like, I mean, he was good in the regular season. He's just like low key, like he's like the fourth option on this team, which is crazy to say. Because he was arguably the number two on Milwaukee last year. And that just shows how stacked this Boston team really is. Is that a guy like Drew Holiday, who's like an all-star last season, I'm pretty sure, and he's like an all-NBA defender, and he's still a fantastic scorer, that he is the fourth option on the Celtics team, which is insane. Like, yeah. He's averaging 10 points in the postseason, 28, a fantastic night from Drew Holiday. Like, I know Jaylen Brown hit the big shot, Tatum closed the game out, but like the Celtics would not have won this game if it weren't for Drew Holiday, like being in his bag. And I mean, down the stretch, he played some good defense on Tyrese Halliburton. And like there was the one play where he like literally made him dribble the ball out of bounds. So I mean, shout out to Drew Holiday. That's why he's in my background right here. So yeah, Drew Holiday was in his bag. Derek White, better game from Derek White than we've seen in the past. There have been games this postseason where Derek White's been fantastic, and there have been games where he's been absolutely terrible. Like, but let me show you. Let me show you. Once again, shout out Stat Moose. Yeah, like, yeah, 18, 15. And then there were games where he dropped 5, 12, 10. Like, this is a solid Derek White game. I feel like if you get this from Derek White, it's like, okay. Because in my opinion, if you're the Celtics, you win, you go as Tatum and Brown take you. Like, although like they don't need to, you can argue they don't need to step up to win, but like those are the guys that should be stepping up, and Derek White should just have to be a role player. So like Derek White did what he had to tonight. 3 for 8 from three is not bad. Like that's not a bad efficiency. Jaylen Brown, this guy was huge. I mean, like he was in his bag tonight. I know he's 1 for 4 from three, but the three he hit, if he didn't hit that three, the Pacers would have fucking won this game. And that three was fucking wild too. Like, so shout out to Jaylen Brown. He was in his bag tonight. Yeah, I mean, the big shot, that's really all you have to say about Jaylen Brown. Like, um, yeah, he had 3 steals as well. Like Celtics were hustling. Like their hands were active tonight. Look at all these steals. 11 steals. That's good from the starting five, man. Like in their bag. But that three, that was crazy. That was probably the clutchest shot of Jaylen Brown's career. I'm gonna be honest. So yeah, in his bag. Sam Hauser, Luke Cornett, they were fine. I mean, Sam Hauser, not so much compared to Luke Cornett, but like, because I mean, Sam Hauser's got to hit his threes and he's got to be good. But I mean, he wasn't really that great in this game. He shot 0 for 2 from three. Yeah, 0 for 2 from field, had 0 points in 9 minutes. Like, you'd like to see more from Sam Hauser. And I feel like it would really benefit the Celtics to get more production out of their bench guys and just their role players in general, because it's like, um, the Indiana Pacers are going to make the Celtics more tired. And it's like, that's what they do. They are a fast team. But it's like, if you have guys like the role guys, if you get more 28-point games from Drew Holiday, maybe a like 25 game from Derek White, maybe a more efficient 19 game from Al Horford, you get more from maybe 10 from Sam Hauser, like 7 or 8 from Luke Cornett. That could lead to a Celtics blowout, and that could let the starters or like the stars get a lot, like Tatum and Brown get a lot more rest, because the farther you go, the more you're going to need Tatum and Brown to step up. So more production from these guys would be a welcome sight for Boston. Luke Cornett did his thing when Al Horford came out. Cornett came in, and I mean, he was chilling. He was in his bag. I mean, solid Luke Cornett game. Peyton Pritchard, you thought that? Well, I think everyone thought this guy was going to be cooking early, because I mean, he came in the game. It was like 8 points in 9 minutes, and then he didn't score again. I mean, they didn't really go to him. I mean, that's the thing. Peyton Pritchard is a bucket. In my opinion, he doesn't really offer outside of much being a bucket, but like he was cooking early, and I mean, if he cooked late, Like maybe that could have been the difference, but instead they went to other options and they still won the game. So I mean, give credit to the Boston Celtics. Yeah, the game tonight was exciting. I'm just bummed that Indy didn't win because I don't want to see Boston win. But I mean, Boston's just a more talented team. So like if you give them those opportunities, they are most likely going to take advantage of it because they are probably the most talented team left. They're the most talented team in the NBA and they're like the deepest roster. So I mean, yeah. Next game, game two predictions. I'm going to be honest. I'd love to see Indy win, but I think they're going back 0-2. I think Boston, it's not going to be as close this time. I think Boston will, rather than blowing the 10-point lead and making it like a close game, I think Boston will have a firm grip on that 10-point lead. It'll be hard for Indy to come back in game two. So I expect game two, another Celtics win. I expect guys like Derek White and maybe even Peyton Pritchard to step up as well. So yeah, that's all for me. That's all I gotta say. I'm just a yapper who don't know ball. If you're watching this, much love and peace out.